Have you ever felt like the harder you try to learn English, the less progress you actually make? You spend hours memorizing grammar rules, dissecting every sentence, and worrying about choosing the perfect word? You're putting in the work, but fluency feels further away than ever. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. You've hit an invisible wall, and today we're going to talk about what it is and how to break through it. This wall is called cognitive burden, and it's the mental exhaustion that comes from overthinking your English learning. So, what exactly is cognitive burden? Imagine your brain is like a computer with a limited amount of processing power. When you're constantly analyzing grammar, translating every word in your head, and second-guessing yourself, you're running too many programs at once. Your mental processor gets overloaded and everything slows down. This is why you might find yourself freezing up in the middle of a conversation, even though you know the words. Your brain is just too busy to access them smoothly. It's like trying to drive a car while simultaneously reading the instruction manual, checking the engine, and adjusting the mirrors all at once. You'd be so focused on the mechanics that you'd barely move. That's what overthinking does to your English. Let's look at a common example: grammar. Many learners believe that mastering every single grammar rule is the key to fluency. So they buy thick textbooks, do endless exercises, try to apply complex rules like the third conditional in real-time conversations. But here's the secret. Native speakers don't do this. I don't consciously think about subject-verb agreement or past participles when we talk. We just talk. Our knowledge of grammar is intuitive, built up from years of hearing and using the language. When you obsess over getting every rule perfect, you're not learning to speak a language. You're learning to be a linguist. It creates a massive mental block. Instead of focusing on communication, you're focusing on correctness, and that fear of making a mistake is what paralyzes you. The same thing happens with vocabulary. You learn a new word and you want to use it, but then the questions start. Is this the right context? Is it too formal? Is there a better synonym? Before you know it, the moment has passed. This quest for the perfect word is another form of cognitive burden. It turns a natural conversation into a stressful, multiple-choice test. Think about how you speak your native language. Do you meticulously plan every single word? Of course not. The words flow because you're focused on the message you want to convey, not the individual words themselves. The goal of learning vocabulary isn't to have a massive internal dictionary you have to search through every time you speak. It's to build a toolkit of words that you can use automatically without conscious effort. This cycle of overthinking, getting overwhelmed, and then feeling frustrated is incredibly demotivating. It makes you feel like you're not smart enough, or that English is just too hard. You might even conclude that you need to try harder, which usually means doubling down on the very things that are causing the problem in the first place. More grammar drills, more vocabulary lists, more analysis. It's a vicious cycle that leads to burnout, and for many, giving up on their language goals entirely. The truth is, you don't need to try harder. You need to try smarter. You need to reduce the cognitive burden, not add to it. So, how do we break free from this mental trap? The first step is to shift your mindset from studying to using. This is a huge mental switch. Instead of seeing English as a subject to be analyzed, see it as a tool for communication. The goal is connection, not perfection. This means you have to give yourself permission to be imperfect. You will make mistakes. Everyone does, even native speakers. The difference is that mistakes don't stop us from communicating. Embrace them as part of the learning process. Each error is a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. When you stop fearing mistakes, you free up a huge amount of mental energy that can be used for actual communication. The second strategy is to embrace massive, comprehensible input. This means listening to and reading a lot of English that you can mostly understand. This is how you build that intuition I mentioned earlier. Instead of learning rules, you absorb patterns. Think about it, that's how you learned your first language. You listened for years before you ever learned what a verb was. Find podcasts, YouTube channels, TV shows, and books that are interesting to you and at a level where you can understand about 80 to 90% of the content. Don't stop to look up every single word. Don't analyze every sentence structure. Just listen. Just read. Let your brain do the work in the background. You'll start to develop a natural feel for what sounds right, and that is far more valuable than memorizing a rule book. Next, you need to practice speaking without a safety net. This can be scary, but it's essential. Find opportunities to speak where the focus is on communication, not correction. This could be with a language exchange partner, a tutor who understands this method, or even just talking to yourself. The key is to practice speaking in a low-pressure environment. Try this exercise. Pick a simple topic and talk about it for 1 minute straight without stopping. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about finding the perfect word. Just keep talking. The goal is to get your thoughts out. This trains your brain to prioritize flow over accuracy, which is crucial for building conversational fluency. Over time, as your intuition grows from all that input, your accuracy will improve naturally. Another powerful technique is to learn words and phrases in chunks, not in isolation. Instead of memorizing that acquire means to get, or in the whole phrase, acquire a new skill. When you learn chunks like on the other hand, it depends on the situation, or I'm looking forward to, you don't have to build the sentence from scratch every time. You have these ready-made pieces you can plug into your conversations. This dramatically reduces the mental effort of speaking. It's like having prefabricated parts instead of having to cut and assemble every single piece of wood yourself. Start paying attention to these common collocations and phrases when you're listening and reading. And start a notebook specifically for them. Finally, practice mindfulness and self-compassion. When you feel yourself starting to overthink, take a deep breath, acknowledge the feeling of anxiety, and then gently redirect your focus back to the person you're talking to or the message you want to share. Remind yourself that it's okay not to be perfect. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be good days and bad days. Celebrating small wins, like understanding a joke in a movie or having a short, successful conversation, is incredibly important for maintaining motivation. Be as kind to yourself as you would be to a friend who is learning a new skill. So let's recap the path to breaking free. Shift your mindset from studying to using. Embrace massive amounts of comprehensible input to build your intuition. Practice speaking in low-pressure situations, focusing on flow, not perfection. Learn language in chunks and phrases, not just individual words. And most importantly, be kind to yourself and trust the process. By reducing the cognitive burden, you're not taking the easy way out. You're taking the smart way. You're removing the unnecessary weight that's been holding you down, allowing you to finally move forward and speak English with the confidence and ease you've been working so hard for. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helps you on your English learning journey. If you found this video valuable, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips on how to learn smarter, not harder. Let me know in the comments if you've ever felt this cognitive burden and what strategies have helped you. See you in the next video.